Welcome to this week's Monday Minutes. My name is Kelly.
And my name is Jessie, and we have a fabulous guest with us this week, Lisette from the Latah County Library District. Hi, Lisette.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, excited to have you.
Thanks for joining us.
So Lisette is the current president of KohaUS, and we thought we'd have her on here to talk about all the fabulous things that KohaUS does and some of the ways you can become active with the KohaUS community. So Lisette, talk to us a little bit about KohaUS and what's out there.
So we have a lot going on. We've got all of our committees. We have our education committee, conference committee that kind of helps guide a lot of what the organization does. We're planning an online conference for September this year. And we had our Koha-thon in April, which went really well, online conference, first try at that. And we learned a lot for our fall conference.
Yeah.
So we're really looking forward to that. And one of the easiest ways to get involved is our special interest groups. We have a wide variety of them, and they kind of focus more on specific parts of Koha aspects. So if you are really into acquisitions, you really want to learn more, that's what your job is focused around, then you can go and talk with other people who also are into acquisitions and working with that. And it's a great way to find out what other libraries are doing and to talk about bugs. Sometimes people have found workarounds, or you might find out about bugs that are in progress and maybe need testers or need more comments about how it happens, or why we would want to move forward this way or that way. And so we have a number of these, and they're all available. Information about them is available on our website, KohaUS.org. These ones are under the Collaborate with Us page.
Also known to your organization as SIGs. And I don't know if that's an acronym a lot of people know, but for a while when I heard it, I said, I don't know what this SIG means. So special interest group.
Yes, special interest groups. And this is a great place to go to see what we're up to. We've got our meeting archives and conference archives here. We meet the second Wednesday of every month is the general meeting. The board meets the first Wednesday of the month. And that's also, we talk about what's going on in Koha at the general meetings. And it's also a great place to go. And we have regional user groups too. So if you have a regional user group or are interested in starting one for Koha in your area, this would be where you go. And then special interest groups. And this page has, we've got acquisitions, and our vice president, Rhonda, is the leader of that one. Each of them have this nice big join button. They're Google groups. Some organizations don't let you join Google groups, but we can add you manually. If you have trouble with that, just email info@koha-us.org, and Rhonda or I will add you to the group and let you know. You'll also get an email from the Google group, but we also like to check in and let you know when it's done, so you can watch for that. We also have links to the past meetings because they all get recorded and uploaded to playlists on YouTube. And so if you can't make it, or if you want to see what we've been talking about before jumping in, that's a good way to do that. So
sorry. I think these special interest groups what a fantastic idea. I mean, I worked with Koha prior to coming to Bywater, and what I wouldn't have done to talk to other small public libraries, even in my area, would be nice, or in the country, to talk about workflow specifically, or we're looking to do this. What have people done and been successful at it, or what doesn't seem to work well, and what are other options? Because of course you can only think so much, and then somebody else could be like McKinney using course reserves as display. I mean, just having that knowledge and help will really help a lot of libraries.
Yeah. And these are also mailing lists too. So even if you can't make the meetings, or if you come up with an idea that you want to talk about in between the meetings, you can use those same mailing lists. And we've got acquisitions, we've got cataloging, and Heather, who just did this morning a cataloging webinar for KohaUS, she's the group leader for that. We have a consortia SIG. We meet every other month. on Mondays, and actually we need to add that because I think we were kind of figuring out when it was going to be. We try to be pretty flexible, make sure that it works for as many of the people who are interested as possible to make those meetings.
That's great.
And demonstration SIG, that one's just getting off the ground. We have a great Bywater provided us with a instance that we can use for when we're like out at conferences. We're going to try to get it set up for ALA this year, but not till next year.
Yep.
Yeah. 2021. So, we're focused on 2021 for all this stuff.
Yeah, right? Exactly. So by then we want to have it up and running with like some demonstration, like good basic records. I think some of those ones that Heather's made up for some good example records are going to go in there, and things that people can use for presentations, like if they want to show off jQuery or CSS changes but don't want to be messing around with their instance, that's an option that we have to use that for too. One of our members actually used it during our Kohathon, I think it was, for some jQuery stuff. And so that's really exciting. Our system administration one, Ed Veal at McKinney runs that one, and that's been the one I've been able to make most consistently. And we talk about administration and system preferences and reports, and a lot of it lately has been all the different system preferences that go into opening and closing libraries.
Yeah.
That's great.
A lot of the people that are in that one are part of consortiums. So like myself and Jason from Southeast Kansas and George from Northeast Kansas, we all have like varying levels of reopening happening. And so like figuring out the system settings and weirdness that comes along with some of those combinations of settings. Our user services group is having their first meeting the afternoon that this is coming out.
Okay.
I think.
Yep.
And so that should be good. Jill at Pueblo is running that for us.
Oh, nice.
That should be pretty exciting. And then Lucas runs the web dev one, where we talk about kind of like the interface and user, how it works or doesn't work for us, and bugs that we've found or filed that would help improve some of those interfaces. And that's really great. And then we also have our book and crafting club, which hasn't met yet, but we were talking about this, I think, at one of the web dev meetings before we got started. Some of us were in there early, and just to do some like book reading and then craft while we talk about it off work hours for some socialization, since a lot of us do a lot of Zoom meetings with each other but are not necessarily nearby other Koha libraries, and that it's a fun way to be social with each other.
Perfect.
That's awesome. Now, Lisette, do people have to be members to come to any of these special interest groups?
No, anybody can join and come to the SIGs or the general meeting as well. You don't have to be a member to come to that, or to any of these, or to collaborate with us as a regional user group, or any of the other options we have listed. We have the KohaUS mailing list, don't need to be a member for that, and the global Koha mailing lists here we have linked on our website as well. And all of our videos and our educational materials that we have are available for anyone who wants to use them.
Great.
Now, if somebody did want to become a member, Lisette, it's a very great group to be a part of. Money goes back into developing Koha, so the membership puts money towards developments that they want to see in Koha. Tell us how we can become a member for those who may not be members.
So on our website here at koha-us.org, there's a button at the top of every page that says Become a Member. And it has a form that you can fill out. Currently, dues for the rest of the year would be $12.50, because it's $25 for the year, and starting in July, it's $12.50 for the remainder of the year. And we have a Google form that you fill out. There's a few pages. It's not actually 12 pages. There's 2 different sections. One for if you're a returning member and one for if you're a new member. And so there's some different information that we need for different ones. And then you can either pay via PayPal, or there's an option to get invoiced, or you can mail a check, and all the information is given to you at the end or near as part of the form, what the different options are and how to make that happen. And we actually have our first development voting is going to start next week, I think, or our next development voting. The one we voted for last year ended up getting fixed by someone in the community before we could get it paid for. So that was nice, but
Yeah.
we're hoping to be a little bit faster with it this time around, because last year was the first time we tried doing a development, and we ended up needing to ask a lot more questions on our proposal form than we thought. And so we've got it a little bit more streamlined this year. And we've got, I think, two or three developments that we're going to be having members vote on.
That's great.
Nice. And did I hear the conference in September is gone to online, correct?
Yeah, we decided to go online in September, and then we're going to be in McKinney in 2021.
Okay.
And we're still figuring out the dates for that.
Okay.
But we figured they earned it. It's not their fault
Yeah.
what happened.
I kind of wish that KohaCon would do that too and just say New Zealand's 2021, but I don't think that's been decided. So
Yeah, because I think they're still doing it in person for New Zealand.
Yeah.
And I think they're updating their schedule soon,
Mhm.
because they might
Yeah.
be moving things around to make time zones work better for people who are presenting remotely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesse and I are doing one, and we had somebody email us and say, or email me and say, what, are you going to be live? Because we don't want to
Yeah.
put you at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Well, this was really great. I know we've talked to you before. I think that this is a great resource for libraries everywhere to be able to have the recorded sessions for catalogers or acquisitions. If you can't make the times, they're all recorded, and it's just a great way to get some more information.
Yeah, and it's been really good to be able to kind of hash out and talk with other people, like in the system SIG, about specific problems and workarounds. And
Yep.
Sometimes we can get at least workaround fixes right away that we can apply to our systems, which is really helpful.
Absolutely.
And also, like, work together on getting bugs passed, making sure that we're keeping the conversation going, and that there are people who are interested in signing off if a patch is written. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Lisette, for joining Kelly and I this week. We were happy to talk about KohaUS, and we hope that our viewers out there get a little more information and come to maybe one of the next SIGs.
Yeah, and thanks so much for having me.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Have a good week, everybody.
Thanks. Have a nice week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.